This is called deer moss. That's what I've always known it as.
That's deer moss, right?
Yeah,
They
yeah.
eat that stuff?
I'm not really sure if they do. I've always known that's the name of it, but
Deer moss?
I don't know if they actually eat any of that. This is called deer moss. That's what I've always known it as. I don't know if deer actually eat that. I'll have to research that now and see what it actually is. Okay, so doing some research on the deer moss. It's considered a lichen, and the deer do eat it, because I wasn't sure. I've always heard it was called deer moss, and it says that deer do eat it. That their stomachs actually. So the deer do eat the deer moss, and their stomachs are made to digest the acid in it. So we can eat the deer moss, but we have to boil it first because it has a lot of acid in it. So we have to boil it first, and then we can eat it. That gets rid of the acid. Kind of like the acorns. We have to boil the acorns down and to get the acid, remove the acid from them before we can eat them. But from what I've been looking up here, the deer moss is real high carbohydrates. So we can eat it as long as we boil it, and it boils, it gets rid of the acid in it, and then we can eat it. And it's real high in carbohydrates. But the deer can eat it like it is on the ground, and their stomachs are made to digest the acid in it. And here's another part on it too that I was looking up. So that's what the deer moss looks like, and you can see that in my video. So it's actually a lichen, what they call a lichen. And I know some people use it on their train sets. They'll use it for to make like brush and stuff for their train sets. I remember my cousins did that when we were young. Two of my cousins, they had train sets, and they were using some of this to make bushes and stuff to go in their train sets. So another thing I was reading here, it says that the fire, when they do fires or out there in the woods or controlled burns, the fire kills this stuff off. So it's saying if you see a lot of this deer moss around, then it hasn't been burned in a while. The area hasn't been burned in a long time. So I know some parts of Florida here, they try to burn every 3 years. They try to do a controlled burn because they figure that's about what the lightning strikes burn areas about every 3 years or so. That's what one of the rangers had told us at one of the parks. Here's a part at the bottom that talked about architects and model railway enthusiasts use the deer moss to make realistic looking miniature trees and shrubs. So it's a grayish greenish looking stuff. You can see that's what it looks like, and you can see it in my video here too.